Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Marianne Shiozawa, and this is episode 27 of the You're Doing Great Mom podcast. This is the second episode in the Fatherhood series where I'm chatting with men on the main topic of fatherhood. So far, it's been very interesting because the conversations blossom into discussions about so many things, including obviously family and children, and women, marriage, careers, dating, and many more. Today, I'm chatting with Brendan Waddington, who lives out in Perth, Australia. I'm loving the accent. Brendan's a jack of many trades, and he works in a health clinic as a naturopath, a soft tissue therapist, a massage therapist, and a personal trainer. He also spends time doing some mining in Northern Australia. He just released his first book called The Wellness Bible, a no bullshit guide to wellness. I asked Brandon to come on my podcast to talk about fatherhood, and he answered, well, I'm not a father, so he probably thought I didn't want to talk to him. But I actually really wanted to talk to him and hear about his view on fatherhood and whether or not he wants kids and what it means to him to be a father. So the conversation with Brendan was really, really interesting, very enjoyable, and just one of those chats that flows naturally, going in and out of topics ranging from fatherhood, dating, feminism, single life, work, and many more things, like I did with a lot of the other guys. So it was a real blast talking to Brendan, and I hope one day I'll be listening to him live at one of his future lectures on the No Bullshit Wellness. All right, so Brendan, thank you so much for being on my podcast. I'm so excited to talk about this. I have no idea what's going to come out of it because I'm so intrigued by what about this subject. So thank you so much for being here.
You're more than welcome.
So tell us a little bit about who you are, where you live, how old are you, and are you a father?
Okay, who am I? My name is Brendan. Some call me Brendo or Brendy, depending on the context, or if I'm in trouble, it could be like Brendan. But how old am I? I'm 36, although I'll be 37 in, I'd say, less than a month, in January the 19th. So although if I shave my beard off, I still get asked for ID, so I've got to keep that on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I am. I must be doing something right. Apparently I'm looking younger than I am.
That's good.
The last one was, am I a father? Not that I know of. Pretty sure I'm not. So.
Yeah, it's funny when I ask that question, some guys say that. It's funny because, well, women would never say that, obviously.
Yeah.
But I do get that answer, like, not that I know of.
Yeah, it's like a go-to. But the thing is, it's there's a bit of reality in it because sometimes some of these guys come unstuck and get that knock on the door later down the track.
Oof. I get it. I mean, you see it in movies, but like I've never actually met anybody who's had that experience. But that's kind of like...
Yeah, I actually know at least one or two people personally that's happened to.
Wow.
Yeah, and like they might be married with kids and stuff and come as a complete surprise to them. So,
wait, who surprised them, the child or the woman?
Like, I mean, it might be a complete surprise to to my mate, the father. One recently, actually very recently, I had someone trying to track him down, contacted me to track him down and said, that's my father. And I'm like, well, here's his details and I'll leave you with it and good luck if that's correct.
Oh, wow.
So, I'll, without saying any names, maybe I'll let you know how that goes on the next interview. Actually, maybe I should let you interview him directly.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Well, I hope that it's rare, that it happens rarely.
Yeah, well, I'd say so, yeah.
So my curiosity is the subject about fatherhood. So just to, for the context, for a woman in a woman's life, a woman is at some point is going to think about motherhood or am I going to become a mother or do I want to become a mother? It's something that all girls think about. And it could be as early as 5 years old or 4 years old, and that girl knows from that early on that she wants to have children and she wants to be a mother. Or it could be a woman in her young, early 20s who suddenly gets that feeling of, I'm certain that I don't want to have children or something. But like the thought is I think regularly, consistently a possibility or something, whether it's yes, I want to be a mother or not. And so my curiosity is, do men or do you personally, do you think about that? And if you did, can you just explain a little bit about what those thoughts are? Are they like quick? Is it like very unclear? Is it, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to ask?
Yeah, definitely. I do have those thoughts, and I think those thoughts would come more frequently as I get older. I'm often told that I'd make a great father, and I'd like to have a little boy, preferably. All the guys say they want a boy, preferably. Actually, I'd take what I'm given, But it's like I think men have a bit of a maternity, a biological clock sort of thing happening too, at least psychologically. Although like financially, I'd want to put it off later than ever, but biologically, it doesn't matter as much for men as it does women. I actually wrote about this recently. Centenarians, people that live to the average age of 100, or super centenarians, people that live to the average age of 110 at least. There's still these guys in these blue zones around the world are still fathering children over the age of 100. But women, for example, anything. Well, it was what was the age? It was 28. When I originally learnt it, was the anything over 28 was a geriatric pregnancy. Recent research has shown now, or demonstrates now, that from 35 onwards is now considered a geriatric pregnancy for girls. So there's less of a rush in that respect, and which seems to be ideal in this day and age, because everything's more about career and that for everyone. But me personally, I feel like I'm again. The thing is, I'm single. I don't have a girlfriend or anything like that. So it's in most cases you don't really just have a baby with someone until you've been with them for a while, Or I mean, if you want to go really old-fashioned, ideally you'd be married first, even. But I'm not one for following the rigid rules of society. But I guess whatever happens.
Yeah. So, can you just tell, I should have asked this before, can you just tell us what you do and like what your line of work is?
Okay, well, I've got a few jobs. I've mentioned one of them, which is mining for 2 weeks at a time up north, and then I fly back for a week. And during that week, I'll work in a health clinic, mostly with sports injuries, because I'm a soft tissue therapist, mainly like clinical massage and a bit of like medical acupuncture, otherwise known as dry needling, deep tissue massage, trigger point therapy, things like that. But I'm also a naturopath.
Cool.
That's my main train, so I'll do a few hours a day of the clinical massage and the naturopathic consultations, or my version of the naturopathic consultations. I'm more of a evidence-based naturopath, which kind of makes me a bit of the black sheep of the family of the naturopathic industry. So I do a bit of that, but I also, as a personal trainer and a yoga instructor, which is what I used to do up north, I do it here a little bit, just a couple of hours a day, just to boost my wellness careers, because I've written a book on wellness, so I'll spend several hours a day just driving from place to place around my city that sells my book. I've got about 50 places around Perth where I live that sell it, plus a dozen places around the state, and then a couple more over east, overseas. Yeah, so.
Awesome! What's the book? What's the name of the book again?
Well, the name of the book is The Wellness Bible.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, well, the full name like that's the title, but the subtitle is "A No Bullshit Guide to Health and Wellness."
Oh, sweet! I love it.
Yeah. So it's seeming to be.
Yeah, we need that kind of. That's definitely something that needs to. People need to teach that, or at least, yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed what I've observed over the years, especially in my line of work, there's a lot of people are either strongly for or opposed to, like, say, natural medicine and orthodox medicine. And I like to look for just the objective truth and let's just find out what the truth is. And basically I compiled all that information based on the evidence available in the book. And I could have called it evidence-based health and wellness, but, you know, me and my style, I'm just like, nah, it's a no bullshit health and wellness.
I love it. That sounds really good. It's a good title.
By the way, I hope I won't swear on your podcast. I just realised.
That's totally fine. Oh, it's just like be however you want to be, really. The more authentic, the better.
Perfect.
Cool. So, awesome. That sounds really exciting. Like, you do a lot of things. You're quite busy. Like, your schedule
Like I just I've got appointments before and after this podcast. I just it's been hectic.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's cool. It's exciting.
Yeah. It keeps me motivated. If I sit still too long, I might fall asleep or something. So. Yeah,
I love it. I mean, I love that about guys, about men, just being able to, I mean, you know, being single or not, whether or not you have a significant other. I just love how just active and busy and adventurous. And the energy, I love it. And it's so great because it continues. I mean, it starts from when you're, you know, a young boy, and then it continues, you know, until, I mean, as long as you can go, right? Like you probably see yourself doing this, you know, like a lot of activity until who knows, right?
Well, it's funny. I was talking about retirement today a couple of times because I'm trying to get my shit together and like plan for longevity financially as well. So I plan to, in one respect, retire at the age of 50 because really that's quite young in terms of biology. You know, you're just there's not much past your prime depending on how you look after yourself. And but I would never actually retire. Depending on how I feel, I'd like to retire from. Well, at this stage, I say I'd like to retire from FIFO style work, but I'd still keep up with the wellness stuff because the wellness stuff to me is like my passion. So I would do it for free anyway. It's just that I happen to get paid for it, you know. So they say the two most dangerous times of your life is, you know, when you're born and also when you retire. I'll just keep going forever.
Yeah. Do you plan on like speaking and like doing?
I already do public speak, but I'll do public speaking. So I started off public speaking on luxury cruise ships in the Caribbean. I was thrown in the deep end. I'm telling you, I can understand people when they say they have a fear of that. I was really thrown in the deep end. I kind of lived my whole life by being thrown in the deep end. Just do it, see what happens, you know. Learn the hard way. It's like sink or swim. That got me off to a good start because once I mastered that, then I ended up doing that in a FIFO scenario on Barrow Island to hundreds of people, and which kind of led me to write the book. And from that book, I've had a lot of people approach me to do public speaking events at their corporate workplaces and various other places too. And so I don't have to. Like originally, I used to have to practice for it, and now I just wing it. I just make it up as I go. And the people seem to like that the better. People actually prefer me just being me and just speaking my mind. Yeah.
I heard that the top TED Talk speakers, one of the features of or elements of their talks is that they went off. They were much more authentic and they improvised a lot more than the other one. So so definitely. I mean, I totally agree that just the more you are yourself. Yeah. So, so the whole subject about fatherhood, do you feel pressure? I mean, I don't know how to like it's not going to be the same pressure. I mean, you did say that there is for men some type of biological clock.
Yeah.
But do you feel like a pressure? I mean, at your age, see, to me, okay, so I'm 45. I've been married for almost 13 years and I have 3 children. And yes, you're right. Like you said that women, we have this biological clock and if a woman really wants children and she's not close to being married by the age of 33 or 34, like if she's 33, 34, I mean, I hate to, generalize, but if she wants children and she's not close to getting married, she's feeling like that's probably number one on her mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's yeah. And it sometimes it can make women extremely depressed and a really big source of stress. I imagine that it's gotta be, for a 36-year-old man, single, it's got to be, the pressure can't be that big.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree with you on that one. I'd say the pressure would be stronger on the girls and the guys for that reason, because for the biological factor, but then also just their own pressure they apply to themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you your priorities now and your values are more focused on, it just sounds like from what you were saying, more focused on establishing yourself and your career and your passion. And so that for you as a man, is that something that's,
yeah.
Yeah.
I want kids and, but I want everything that goes with it. I want a wife and kids or something like that, or a girlfriend and kids. And, but I also kind of believe in going with the flow in life and everything happens for a reason without getting my hippie on too much, but I also look at it kind of from that light in the fact that imagine if I had kids now, or even a kid now, or even a wife now, for that plus a kid, I wouldn't be able to do the things I'm doing. I'd have to quit like half of my jobs at least, and I probably wouldn't be able to interview even. I'm at the moment I'm pretty much back-to-back appointments, and a date for me is pretty much like an appointment. Like I've got one booked in tonight. It's either way I'm booked in. Like what the hell is that? It's yes, you gotta give everything to your like family first.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, give it my all.
Yeah, it's and it sounds like, I mean, from what I've from other conversations with guys who are not married and aren't fathers, they say similar things. You have like a plan, and you'd like it to go that way, but like also having an open mind and and so do you have also some friends that have children? And you said that you have some friends and that are married with children as well.
Yeah, a lot of my friends have kids, and I've got some friends that have babies, so recently have kids.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, I'm told I'm good with kids, and sometimes the best part is giving them back, as you've prepared that expression.
Yeah, like totally.
I like have a drink with my friends and stuff, but you stay over because you don't want to drink drive or whatever. But no matter how late you go to bed, the kids wake up early anyway. So you go to bed at midnight or 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. Their kids are still up at the crack of dawn and every kid's different. Some kids are just so loud and like I remember I was actually there was a while I was dating a girl with that had kids and they were nice enough and all, but I remember just like going home and just like get away from them.
For sure.
And I was looking at the bright side of separation, because it's common as over 50% with marriages and probably more so if you're not married. But the bright side of separation, breaking up with your partner when you've got the kids involved, you get if you go and say halves or roughly halves, with the custody, you get that time off, and then you get that time. And I was thinking that's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
That's like a blessing, Conversely,
Yeah.
Conversely, I've got my niece and nephew, and I just love them a bit, especially my niece. I have a favourite, but I know she's the older one, so I've got to know her more. They live in Singapore,
Yeah.
so I only get to see them once in a blue moon. But
Oh, cool.
yeah, I can't get enough of those kids. And,
how old are they?
Little Ollie and Sienna, if you're listening, hello. One day when they listen. How old are they?
Yeah.
I'm the uncle. I should probably know this, but one's about like 3/4 of a foot tall, and the other one's about a foot. My niece,
I love it.
Best cuddles. Yeah, she's my real miss. Between her and my Harley Davidson, I don't know which one my girlfriend really is. Yeah, and I've got my other mates' kids and shit. I like them too,
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, I don't know what to say.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I think I get cocky sometimes myself.
Oh, cool. So you don't, well, they're in Singapore, so you don't get to see them that often. But you must be like the super fun uncle.
Well, I'd like to think so. I buy them little Harley Davidson T-shirts and stuff. Like, I can't believe they make them that small, but yeah, I got the best of them.
Yeah. Aw. So, and are you the only uncle?
Let's see. Yeah, so I've got one sister only. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. That's really cool. Oh, that's Harley Davidson. That sounds very. It sounds very American, actually.
Well, it is an American invented motorcycle, but it's nothing much more Aussie than riding a Harley around the Aussie countryside.
Yeah.
I'll send you some photos of these kids if you like. If you're into kids,
Yeah.
You seem to like them.
Cool. Yeah. So it's your sister's, sister's kid. So is she older than you?
She's 2 years younger.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's married with 2 kids. She's really good at shit together.
Oh,
yeah.
So funny.
I was reading a scientific article recently that concluded that the second born is likely to have the criminal nature, although she's the one, got the kids and marriage and settled down and all that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's it was a scientific study or like a
it was it was a small study, but it made the media, made the news, and everyone's commenting, tagging their siblings in it.
Yeah, right. Actually, that's interesting. Well, because my older brother is 46 and he's single, and like totally single, doesn't have children, not that he knows of, and and I'm the second, and I've got like the whole family picture and that whole thing. So, in the outside eyes, I look like I've got my shit together, but it's like he's the firstborn, but no, I mean, and that kind of, it goes back to the whole, he's 46. He doesn't even know that he doesn't even know if he says he doesn't know if he wants children, or if he does, it'll be like when he's like, like 60 or something. And his wife is, like my husband jokes all the time, the ideal woman. And I think women who listen to this are going to like hate me for saying this. But like my husband teases and he's like, the ideal age for a man, for a woman to be is half plus 7.
Okay.
So half your age plus 7.
Yeah.
So I don't know where he came up with that. I can't remember.
That really raises questions at different stages in your life, like.
Yeah.
What if you're 25? What if you're 100? Yeah.
So anyway, it's kind of like, that's your guideline for a guy. And I'm just, when he says that, because he's only 4 years older than me, and I just roll my eyes. I'm always rolling my eyes with him, which I know I shouldn't do as much, because I know that when I do that, I'm like completely emasculating him.
Oh, no.
But anyway, it's we joke. It's fun. It's fun and jokes all the time. So, but yeah, like that goes back to the point where a guy can be, you're 36, but a guy could be in his mid 40s and also be happily just trekking along in life, not having the urge to, or even to know if they want to have children. I mean, I don't know.
I know where I'm at. I want at least one kid, I think, maybe two.
Yeah, have more than one.
Yeah, one can look after the other one. So.
Yeah, I mean, if people tell you that you would be a good dad, definitely have more than one. Like,
I hear it all the time. Just that, I got to find the right partner as well to have with. You don't be connected to the wrong person. Like I've dodged a couple of bullets in my time. Like, I definitely want kids, but I'm like, I definitely don't want them with that person.
Do you so like, because I mean, because I'm in the wellness health industry as well. Excellent. And so I got my degree, my doctor of chiropractic in the States.
Oh, excellent.
So yeah. Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I love naturopaths and I just love talking about wellness and so, we have the same philosophy. And what was really important to me when I met my husband, at the time, was I told him, because when we started to get serious, I was, and I said, listen, this is like, I remember the day, actually the night we were on a date and we were at the restaurant, at the table. And I was just like, listen, I want to talk to you about something serious. He's like, oh shit. He's like, I don't know what's coming. Yeah. And I was like, listen, we've been together and we're clearly like, very, very fond of each other. We're serious. I just want to talk to you about something that is totally non-negotiable. And he's just like, oh shit, like even more. And, cause I knew for a long, long time cause I always knew I wanted to have children. And I knew that my lifestyle, my wellness lifestyle, and the choices that I made or make in the future for myself, my husband, and especially my children, that was paramount. That was very important to me. And so I just said to him that night, when I have children, this is how it's going to go. Mm. And I just point blank said, if you can't handle that, if that's not okay with you, you need to make a decision. You need to recognize that if you want to be with me, this is how it is for me, and it's not negotiable. Like, it was a deal breaker for me, and I was 100% crystal clear, and I made that crystal clear to him. And so my question is, basically the point is, because you have that passion, and when you meet someone, is that something like clearly if she's, I don't know, let's just say she's in a completely different industry or field, like she's an accountant or she's I don't know, what I mean? Like something that's completely different, and she doesn't really think about wellness at the level that you do. I mean, I guess I'm assuming that that's something that's going to be super important for you in terms of like when you have children.
My wife or girlfriend, whatever, she could be a bloody house cleaner. I wouldn't care, I mean, ideally, that would be nice if she shares my passion for wellness and wellness-related activities. But, I really couldn't care less what her, what her job is. Like my main job currently is mining. Technically destroying the earth somewhat, and I'm an environmentalist. You do what you got to do for an income to live. We're working to live, not living to work. And so all that. But you know what? My influence game seems to be strong, apparently. So I'll convert anyone into wellness.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because a lot of your choices in wellness and health and the way you live, like you said that you just got back from the gym and like the, who you are in your profession. And that's totally going to be directly transmitted to how you raise your family and your children and stuff like all those choices,
Well, funny you should say that actually, because I think it relates to the conversation somewhat. I'm all about wellness, but, I'm having a beer as we speak as well. So I'm about no bullshit wellness. I'm about balance. Let's be serious, or I'm only human.
I totally understand. Like if I was sitting there with you at that time, I'd probably have a beer with you.
Yeah. Most of my podcasts have actually been different time zones, but I do try and have a glass of wine or something, depending on the time of the day when I do a podcast interview. But in related to, non-negotiables this part of discussion, really just attraction in general, I seem to attract the more hippie-style girls or whatever, something that relates to wellness. And I think some have a preconceived expectation that I'm going to be a Puritan. Well, naturopathy is my occupation, between certain times. Like, people say, well, what do you eat? I'm like, well, I eat food. What do you eat? A lot of people don't realise that, I can prescribe, I have dietary prescription for different disease states. I can prescribe different diets, If you ask me what I eat, well, I'm not treating myself for a disease. If I were to treat myself for a specific disease, I'd have a dietary prescription accordingly. But generally, I like to, most of the time, eat a well-balanced, healthy kind of meal. But I think some will get a bit, I don't know if they're disappointed or shocked or something to see that I'm just a human like everyone else. I'll have a drink, I'll have a beer with the boys or a wine with a glass of red with dinner, or I'll have days where I don't go to the gym occasionally or whatever. I'm still, I ride Harley Davidsons. I'm not going to sit in the lotus position all day every day.
Yeah.
But then other people that see the other side of me, see me out, with the boys or riding Harleys or whatever, they'll be surprised and the way I dress like, only black, or whatever. I dress otherwise too. But they'll look at me with a beard and tattoos, and then I'll talk about meditation or something, or they'll see me meditating on the beach or doing yoga somewhere, and they'll think, what the hell? You called your husband enigmatic earlier. I think that was before you started recording. So I've been called a paradox by my ex-girlfriend, and enigma by someone else, and contradiction, and all those sort of various terminologies.
Do you see yourself as that though?
I see myself as balanced, like a yin yang. So be true to myself, but also, I don't think we always have to fit in a boxes. Like, just because I like yoga and meditation, and wellness things, whether it be herbal medicine, nutrition, doesn't mean I can't go out and write myself off one night. Not that it's regular, I'll try and get enough sleep, and not drink too much, but everything in moderation, including moderation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe you're preaching to the choir here, because because I'm in this industry, like similar industry. And I went to school with like a lot of the guys that are like you, and I can see, and I mean, I can see why people would be saying, I mean, I only just met you, but like, I can just see why people would call you an enigma, because, normally you wouldn't really see someone who loves riding Harley Davidsons and then, the next minute, like meditating and doing yoga. Like, you wouldn't put you wouldn't put that together as like some, something, but still, I mean, personally, I think that for most women, I think that's really like the more a man is involved or has interest and passions, I think that is on an instinctive level. I think that's a very attractive feature, like I don't think a woman really wants. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's, from my point of view, I think that women don't want a guy who's just like boring,
Yeah.
And I think that like your self-awareness, that you have that balance, like that you it's all about balance, and if you need to tone something down or, to accommodate and be with that other person or whatever, I think that that's also really important. It sounds like you have that. And so, but anyway, just to me, like my point is, I see that as these are really, good qualities, like attractive qualities to have. And I say, man, just keep going.
Yeah, I actually agree with what you were saying earlier too. There does have to be some some similarities. I understand, like, you were saying, what if they have different occupations or whatever, but there should be some, similarities. Like my ex, for example, I won't be saying any names, but we both had the similarities in the wellness field, but to also different degrees. So she was like a hardcore vegan and feminist, and I'm a lot more laid back and stuff. So couldn't like go to it's like a headache going to find a restaurant or different points of view of things. Like I'm pretty cruisy going, so I can accept other points of views, but like some feminists, for example, can't always agree on things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think there does have to be a certain level of shared belief systems, not down to a T, but somewhat.
Yeah. You're saying that, it's just, it really, it really bothers me when I hear guys say what you kind of just say, because I feel bothered by a lot of guys who say, oh, if this woman, she had these views that were quite particular and extreme, and she called herself very feminist, and it's just, to me, like, okay, I mean, I'm 45, and I call myself, like, I support feminism, but like,
yeah.
I find that a lot of guys, especially in like around your age, and and also younger, it's like kind of rough out there. For you guys, you just never know what you're gonna get. You never know what, and it's just like really brutal out there.
Especially lately with the media and stuff, and it's getting worse. It also depends on your definitions of, say feminism is a good example.
Exactly.
Some would consider me a feminist, like for about equality and fair go, because I stick up for the underdog. I support the underdog. Yeah. A lot of times they will be the female. Lately, it's the male. But but then you got the I hate the labels, but then you got the kind of feminazi. Like all men are rapists, all men are evil, and they must be punished, and gender equality, except not really. Like the men are down here and we should be up there. Things like that.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's got to be just not pleasant.
I think as the pendulum is swinging, so it'll go back the other way eventually. So some of the men got to ride it out. But don't get me wrong, there's some real piece of shit men out there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, it's if we're gonna talk about equality, like there's women that are total, just some women do total idiotic things, and then there's men that do totally idiotic things.
I think, some of these feminazis, which is what when people hear the word, or some men hear the word feminist, they think of the feminazis that hate the man-hatings, doing the legitimate feminism movement more harm than good. And they're working against women in the collective female consciousness and everything that goes with it. So no doubt about it, we're equal in some ways, but we are different species, and I honour females for what they are, and it should be that way around as well. And most girls do. It's I really appreciate the differences between the genders, and it's just. We can work together. And make some powerful things. It's just a bit sad what's going on out there at the moment.
Yeah,
stuff to make you want to not follow the social media or the media.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. It is sad and it's frustrating because, I mean, like, it doesn't affect me on a day-to-day direct level because, I'm married. I'm very clear with my views. My husband's very clear on his views. We're clear on each other's views. And although it's not that we don't debate, we right off the bat, we were very clear about our views and values and things like that. And so it works. But it's out there. It's just, it's kind of like, it's to the point where, I mean, which is a little bit ties to why I was interested in talking to women who are not mothers. And, what's going on all over the world are women are choosing not to have children more and more. It just so happens that, the population is actually, it's, plateauing or going down. And in some cultures,
is it really?
The population, yeah, like Japan, Germany, most women, more than half of women are not having children.
Oh no, I understand. I accept they're having less kids. I'm word for it, but I don't know about population going down. I'm not.
It is. It is.
See that I haven't looked into it either. So that's surprising.
Yeah. No, it is like in very clearly in a few developed countries like Japan, Germany. The population is actually going down because of that. Yeah. And so, I mean, we're not, I'm not saying like, I mean, I haven't looked at it in so much depth, but I definitely think that it's the, like you were saying, the, extreme feminism is hurting more than, I mean, I'm going to get like so much, I'm going to get so much like slack for this. Like I do have, I appreciate and I'll listen and I love having conversations about this sort of thing. And to each their own, but at the same time, some of these views, it's like, I completely agree. Men and women are just too different. I mean, I've been really into, this woman, who's a relationship dating expert or whatever. And her name is Allison Armstrong. And she is from California and she has all these, she lectures and she's got these books and she's fantastic. And she was saying something that totally made sense to me. She's like, when you watch a National Geographic movie or show on a particular animal, like the lions or sloths or whatever, and they talk about the female, and they talk about the qualities of the female, and then they talk about the male, and they talk about the qualities of the male. And there are clear behavioral differences, physiological differences. And yet here we are as human beings who are animals, and we're supposed to treat each other as the same. It's just, sorry, but it's like, hello, wake up call. It's like, it's just not realistic.
Mm. Yeah,
we're totally different.
And we should, capitalize on our strengths and, complement our weaknesses. And that's why, only generally, but men and women come together and make a good little life unit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not taking any away from my gay mates. I've got heaps of lesbian friends and a couple of gay mates. And like that's what I say generally. But everyone's different, so.
Yeah, for sure. Well, cool. Well, Brendan, this has been really, really fun talking to you, and I really appreciate contributing to this conversation. I love it. I love this kind of thing, and I love talking to men. And I really, I love your energy and everything that you're doing. So thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I think you have a website. If you can just tell everybody your website, and if people want to look you up and get your book, how can we find you?
So, www.nobullshitwellness.com.
That's awesome that you bought that domain name.
Yeah. And so on that, at the moment you can just get the book, but and also look for locations. So you can order it via Amazon through that page, or you can see what locations it's also available at if you want to pick it up in person. But probably by the time you are listening, there should be some 12-week wellness programs or no bullshit wellness programs, and some clothing line, no bullshit wellness t-shirts and things like that.
Oh, that's so great. Awesome. Yeah. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, thanks. It's just hard to try and fit it all in when you're working these jobs.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
If anyone has any questions about anything, just contact me at brendan@nobullshitwellness.com.
Cool. That'd be great. Yeah. I'm excited to. Yeah, I'll definitely get the book, and I'm excited to see what else you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Brendan.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Well, I think Brendan should be prepared. I have a feeling he's going to get a bunch of single women calling him. And I have a strong feeling that we'll be hearing a lot more of Brendan out there. He's a huge force, and he's out to make a big difference in the world. If you want to learn more about his book and how to contact him, check out his website, nobullshitwellness.com. If you like this episode or any other episode, please subscribe and leave a review, and check out my website, yourdoinggreatmom.com. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.